Welcome to the Inner Room with Mind. This is a space where walls fall away, when stories don't just get told, they rant, messy, real, and alive. Here, writers open the door to what drives them, what haunts them, and what keeps them going. Every voice has its own rhythm, its own scars, its own sparks. And together we trace the threads that hold us, break us, and connect us all. I am so excited this lovely, beautiful morning, to have the great Alicia Joyful with me. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of this inner room. Special.
Well, I mean, I joke around and I look at what I built with my Life Wakes and Rebirth subscription. I was like, oh, I just built the house that I wish I grew up in.
Yeah.
That's literally what I've just been carving out. And it has been interesting to reflect back on that as ooh, that's a cool way to connect with your younger selves. Look at what they're helping you kind of build. So it's been cool. Eliza, thanks for joining. But I'm so stoked to have you. Every time I create these, I'm always a couple of months away, and then they happen. I'm like, wow, that went by fast. I probably booked this or scheduled this 2
At
months
least
ago.
2 months ago. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's great to finally be face to face with you, Megan Young Me. Thanks for joining. So if you're new here, which Alicia is new here, the Inner Room is a place where I come up with 20 curated questions for my co-host. So are you ready to get into one?
Yeah. Let's do this.
So for fun, because I feel like my little kid inside me is so happy today, I obviously come up with 20 questions. So pick a number from 1 to 20. You will pick your first question.
Ooh, let's go with 8.
8. What's a small daily thing that makes you feel most like yourself?
Hmm. I when I go outside and feel the sunshine for the first time, like I always go out barefoot, feet on the earth, feel that sunshine. I really feel like that, like it wakes up my inner child. It reminds me like just how precious life is, and like seeing nature to me is like just how can you not know you're loved and you belong when you see nature and everything it's providing for us in every second.
So for people that don't know, where are you tuning in from?
I'm in Hawaii.
I'm sure most of the people, I mean, at least I can only speak for myself. If I got to wake up every day in Hawaii and put my feet directly onto a beach where there's water and sun, I don't know that I could be miserable either, my friend.
And I'm not by the beach. It would take
I,
me 15 minutes to get to the beach, but it's beautiful. And I've been here a year and a half, which is probably a part of that, like why it's so amazing to me. But I also am from Utah, where it's very beautiful too. And I was lucky to have nature. Like,
Scenic lifestyle,
yeah,
always been in tune with what's naturally been around you. I hear Utah is beautiful. It's breathtaking. I cannot wait to one day I'm gonna pack up this dog that I have in my sleeping
tour.
group, and there's gonna be states, and then people are gonna be like, as a New Yorker, people are gonna be like, "Why are you going there?" Because most people would not understand. And I'm like, "Have you seen the national state parks there? Have you seen how beautiful this space is? It doesn't have all these skyscrapers, no, but it does have its own sense of beauty and its naturalness in it. So I can't wait to kind of see what the rest of the United States has to offer."
Well,
Plus,
and do you know Terry Lee that's on here? Somebody that's on here. She and her husband took a trip, like purposely, like a month-long car trip to just go around and visit everybody they could drive to that they know through Substack. And they
awesome.
drove through states and just met all their Substack people.
That's a goal of mine. I said I would love to do that because I have
Wonderful.
connected with so many people, not just in different states, but in other countries. So I was like, cool.
Oh, other countries, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think is the coolest thing about Substack is how you really feel the reach because you really are communicating directly with somebody that is living a probably similar lifestyle, just in a completely different place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
12, 15-hour time difference. Like
I
Andrea, or I think 12-hour time difference. So for us to connect is like,
Oh, wow. So that makes this weekend even more, probably,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Megan Young Me said also beautifully put. Yeah, and that was just the first question. Look at that. See, this is why I love this space is because again, the questions are just to help encourage fun conversations, enlightening conversations. Um, do you want to pick another number?
Sure. Let's go with 13. Lucky 13.
It's funny because up until recently, I was under the assumption that all buildings, like residential buildings, even corporate buildings, skip that floor. And I was in new buildings in White Plains, New York, and I'm like, they have a 13. They have a 13,
Wow.
and people are living on it. Like, I'm delivering to the 13th floor. So it's an interesting that some people have like good associations and then some people find it like a negative association. And I never
Yeah.
understood that. But your 13 says, how do you hold space for yourself when you're the one everyone else leans on?
Um, I'm pretty protective of my time. Like, I wake up purposely an hour before I have to do anything so that I have an hour every morning to like set my day, to have my time. And I just, and maybe it's not kind sometimes, but like I'd forgotten about a hike that my gym was going to go do that I really wanted to do, but I made plans with a friend and I messaged her and I was like, "Hey, I know we had plans this afternoon. Do you want to go on a hike? I forgot about this that my gym's doing and I've never done this hike and I really want to do it." And I'm like, "So do you want to join me?" And she's like, "I don't." And I'm like, "Okay, then we'll reschedule." Like, it may not be kind and I'm sorry to be that person, but when I feel like this is what my body and everything in me says to do, I have no choice but to do it. If that means I have to disappoint other people, that's their disappointment, and maybe I'll lose friends because of that, but I have to always honor myself. And so I think we have to let go of disappointing other people. Like, that's their disappointment. You're honoring yourself. So, good question to ask yourself. Am I honoring myself or am I like doing this because I think I'm going to disappoint someone else?
I think that's very well put. And I feel like your response is what is living action and proof of what people are, saying you're supposed to do by setting boundaries. Like you can't get upset that you're promoting people, set boundaries amongst whatever relationships they have and then be the friend that's like, "Oh, well, you're choosing to do something for you and not like something we planned." Like I feel like I would be the friend that would have said yes, but if I said no, I would have been like, "But go." And yeah, we could totally
Yeah.
reschedule. Like
Yeah.
that's where you know that you have the people that are always going to support you and be like, "No, I totally understand, like, totally get it. No hard feelings. Friday's better for me anyway. How about you?" And, like,
Y-
you just move on with life. Like, it shouldn't be a thing, like, I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
I
It
don't know.
shouldn't. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
That's my twist on it.
Yeah. How people take that is up to them, but I'm
Right? Because why
honoring
wouldn't you just wanna be supportive that this like, you came to me and you were honest about it, and I understand shit happens. Because guess what? I forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's why I like that I set these early so then I have something to reference. Okay, well, I have this booked already, I have that booked already, I have like, I it's all on my phone. Like, it's
Yeah.
all organized right here. Like, that helps me make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But sometimes life happens. Like, I booked
That
these so far
happens.
in advance that is like, "Oh, shit, well, I didn't realize that I would be taxi cab to my nephew, so now I have to reschedule." Because that's what I've become to. But Elijah said I want to drive from where I am, he's in Canada, through Washington, Oregon, Utah, and Idaho. And I feel like if you go, bring me with you. I'll meet you up at the top since well, I might have access to Canada. I don't know if they want me. But either way, we'll do this thing, we'll do this thing. The Diary of a Relationship Coach. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for being here. What are you talking about? We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Um are we having fun doing it this way, or do you want me to just pick your own questions?
No, it's fun doing it this way.
All
Let's
right,
do
so
3.
3. As long as you remember all the numbers, it's fine.
I know.
um, what's a moment from this past year that reminded you you're exactly where you're supposed to be?
This past year has been a struggle. As I said, I moved here. It will be 2 years in April, and I moved to be with my daughter and grandson is why I came to Hawaii because my daughter had been here for 12 years by herself and had my grandson, and she
Wow.
needed family and support. Um, and our relationship has been strained. So we hadn't lived together for 12 years and then coming together and everything's different than what we both expected. And so it's been a real test of our relationship and how we're both growing through that. Um, Recognizing our codependencies, recognizing all sorts of things. And um, but the struggles that it's been, and there's been moments like I went back to Utah in August and felt like so much love for my other children and my parents. And I'm like, why am I somewhere where I'm not feeling loved? And I
Mm.
have to come home to feel like, come back here to feel loved. But that's what showed me this is where I'm supposed to be. If life were just easy, so sweet selling, like we would never grow. We want this growth and expansion. It sucks in the
Right.
moments.
Right.
But I think when you can get through those moments and if you really grow and say, what is this inviting for me to see within myself, to understand about myself? So this year's been really hard and a struggle. And it's been my clarity of like, this is where you're meant to be. You're meant to work through this relationship with your daughter, to be here for your grandson, and like to grow in the uncomfortableness of, I mean, everybody thinks like, wow, you live in Hawaii, how great. But it's expensive as a mother here. It's as expensive as something could possibly be. You're on an island. You're like
Um,
stuck. Traffic is insane. I mean, I'm
uh,
talking to a New Yorker, so
I can still empathize. I mean,
yes, you
I'm
could
not gonna.
definitely empathize. So, it's great, and there's a lot of things that aren't great. So, yeah, but it's like you're meant to be here. You're meant to go through all this struggle.
You just you just sound like me when I left New York and I went to Florida, and because like to New Yorkers, Florida's like the next best thing if you can't go to Hawaii.
Yeah,
Like
for
living in the
sure.
South, being in the sun, like, oh, what do you mean? But it is such a difference of a lifestyle from like a place that you would go on a vacation to a place that you would actually live. And I think
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't understand like living in Florida is not a vacation. And I'm saying
No.
living in Hawaii is not always a vacation. Yeah, you have exposures to naturally beautiful things, but there's still life that's happening, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm taking off my sweatshirt, so sorry if it looks weird that I'm dripping here.
I was like,
It
"Oh, guys, we're keeping
it
it
all
PG."
it all of a sudden got really hot. And, like, living somewhere where there's constantly tourists is the whole
Mhm.
thing too. Like, community is so important to me, but it's really hard to establish in a place where people just come to visit,
Yeah.
and people come and leave a lot. Like,
Do
"Oh,
do
I
you
wanna live in Hawaii," and they get here and the island kicks you off. I will tell you that the first year of coming to an island tests you, and if you're not meant to be here, the island will kick you off, and I felt that strain.
I felt that. My sister, after I moved to Florida because my mom had moved to Florida, my sister moved to Florida, and she only lasted a year.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, I don't
Yeah,
can't do."
as I said that, I'm like, maybe every state, maybe every new place you try to go to, like
It's gonna feel that way, and I feel like that was the biggest thing that I learned when I moved at 25 from a place like New York to a place like Florida was just like, "Oh, wait, what I was exposed to my first 25 years isn't the way the whole world is?" Like,
you look back
it's
at
like
25 and you're like, "Oh, little 25-year-olds, you thought you knew what you were doing?"
right, exactly. So, I mean, I'm sure at your age and what your decisions that you're making and the lives that you've lived already, you have an understanding of what you're doing, but it doesn't make the journey any easier. And I do feel like a huge part of me, so I hope I'm going to assume that's not what you're doing, but a huge part of me, like, I was like, "No, I'm supposed to be in Florida," even though everything about Florida was like, "No, you're not." Look,
Yeah.
like your sister, it didn't take her more than 12 months to figure it out. Like, and she was out. So, I was like, "No, I'm never going back to New York. Fuck that, blah, blah." Like, I had this pride about myself that was like, I had cut ties with the state. I had cut ties with the existence of me that was there, and I was not going back. So I feel like I really pushed through 7.5 years in a place that, like I said, from the moment that I got there was like, "You don't belong here." And, that was a Yeah, it's very interesting. Character
Yeah.
development, you know?
Yeah. 7 years. They call it the 7-year itch, like, in marriage, like, the first 7 years, like, it's where a lot of people would get divorced, and then
Um,
if you made it to 14, like, you've made it to this point, but can you make it to 21? And that's the big test, and not very
Not
many people.
many people get to after 25. So, like, me growing up, everybody that I knew, their parents had been, like, would have been together at this point, like, 40 something years now, but, like, 20 something years. So, like, nowadays, I don't feel like I hear that as often.
No, no.
Wait,
If
you
you were married anytime after 90 on, like, I don't feel like marriages last.
Well, I just think
Yeah.
people had changed and their expectations of those relationships had changed, and I think we had forgotten that the point of this life is to continue to evolve, and if you had picked the right partner, your continued evolution will continue to their again continued evolution, and you're working towards things together, and it's not a battle about how to do life. Oh, you have changed so much. Well, yeah, we both have. That was the point. Like,
Yeah.
aren't we on this life journey together, my friend? Come, like,
Yeah.
So I just think we had a distorted view of what it was supposed to be like, and maybe our parents uh were just gangsters or something. They really, like, mine at least, really thugged it out for 25 years, and I was just like, yeah, I'm never doing
Yeah.
that.
Well, and they didn't have what we have. They didn't have the knowledge, like, the resources that we
Mm,
have because of technology.
yeah.
They
I
just
mean,
didn't
just
know anything different.
well, when I
But now
listened
we see a whole world of everything's different.
yeah, because so my grandfather's 92 years old. He lost his my grandmother passed away when she was 52, so he has lived 40 years without
Wow.
her, and when this man talks about his marriage to me, he's like, everybody used to ask us, like, "Oh, you're still together? You're still like as if that was like, yeah, we're still together. Like we said we'd always be like they just had this loyalty and understanding that, like, no matter what happened, like, we were in this that's what we said. And, like, there was that bond to that, and it's just, like, interesting to see how my grandfather has lived his life 40 years after not having her, and
Wow.
I think there is, like, inherently a loyal way of that we love because that was what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I think it was really hard for my mom because, like, again, I think she also thought, like, between her and my dad, like, well, no, we have kids, like, this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I got to the age that I was like to my mom, "Will you divorce him already?" Like, when your teenage daughter is like, "Why are you still with him?" It's like, but then the other daughter was like, "You can't leave. We can't leave. I'm not picking a parent." So then, like, that's my mom. Like, she had to, like, she never once thought, like, "Well, what do I want?"
Yeah, yeah, and that's been a huge test this year for me is, like,
Mm.
I've raised children for 31 years and chose to come back and live with my grandson, and now I'm like, "Wait, what do I want?" Like, I don't know. I got pregnant at 18, like,
Mhm.
and, the
I think you're pushing on something because my sister had her son at 20, and I tell her all the time, "Who are you besides Tristan's mom?"
Mhm.
And he's gonna be 14. So I'm like, and so you gotta, like, again, 20 to 34, those are usually times where people are discovering themselves and figuring out what they like, what they don't like, you know, having fun, like, doing the thing, and she's over here being like a single mom.
Yeah.
So it's like she really, and I tell her all the time, I was like, "I cannot wait till your kid goes to college so you can go live your life,
So, like, I was literally raising children until
your
mine
whole life."
turned 18 from 19 to 47 years old.
That's a lot of time. Yeah.
That's a long time and a lot of my life.
And a lot
So,
of naturally
massive growth.
yeah, but naturally choosing what's best for my kids as
Yeah,
opposed to what's best for me. And, like, I don't think that's talked enough about when it comes to dedication parents have, because I'm not gonna exclude daddies in this, but dedication that parents have with their kids is that sometimes you really are choosing, like, your kid over yourself.
yeah,
And I can't say don't do that. Like, I can't look at
yeah,
anybody
yeah,
and say don't do that. Like, I I'm not gonna tell you, "No, grow, you have to choose yourself always." Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna do that. But, I mean, that is a huge sacrifice that all parents make, so
yeah.
kudos
It's
to you all.
thanks.
Elijah said, believe it or not, some people come up to Canada for the winter to vacation. I do believe it because I also believe people go to like Vermont and Maine for vacation and skiing and stuff. So if you like the snow, which
Yeah.
I'm not like hateful of it.
Mhm. I'm all,
No, I don't like it. I don't like it dirty. Like I don't like it dirty. Like once it gets dirty, it's just like it'll go away already.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like fresh snow on trees and stuff, it just lights up the whole street. But I mean, then it gets dirty, and I'm just like, ew.
And slushy, and
Like,
and
ew.
it's cold, and yeah, it's slushy, watery. Ugh.
Apparently, that's what Elijah said for skiing, and because they never have seen snow. Yeah, I mean that's a huge thing. My ex fiance, born and raised in Brooksville, Florida, I brought her up to New York specifically during December in hopes that she would see snow for the first time, and she did. But it was just like the fact that there really are people that have never been exposed to that.
It's
It's just like,
wild.
oh yeah, you have to do that. If you don't change your perspective, a move won't change much. Hmm.
Yeah.
So again, 25, I was like, it's going to change everything because I get to be whoever the fuck I want to be because none of these people know me anymore. And I'm thinking I get to be me. And then Florida was quickly like, no, you can't talk like this. You can't look like this. You can't communicate like this. You have to slow the fuck down. Why do you move so fast? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like it like stripped back everything that New York made me because it was like, ooh, we don't like that here. Like you're too aggressive. And I'm like, wait, I'm aggressive. What do you mean I'm aggressive? I have personality. What are you talking about? um yeah, it was an interesting time. So Eric says April will be 25 years of marriage for me.
Wow, yay for you. I think those that have made it beyond the 21 year, like,
That's
huge
great.
celebration to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
phenomenal.
a big fan. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because
It's
it's like
amazing.
I really wish that was more common to hear, you know?
Those
Uh,
people give me hope that relationships
it's
can be a growth thing together.
You know what I find fascinating? Maybe it's just because I'm a lesbian, but hetero relationships, how two different species can really like figure out things and coexist together. Like that to me actually like blows my mind more than me being a lesbian. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a man and a woman that actively choose to like stumble and bumble and go through shit together. They're two different species. They need different things and they still somehow figure that out. Like that to blows my mind. Hetero relationships literally blow my mind. So I just said that out there, okay?
It is hard.
I mean, any relationship is hard. I just think again,
Yeah.
like,
But yeah, those opposite sexes
yeah,
and different hormones and different understandings, and yeah.
perspectives. And now that I know so much about how influenced we are by our surroundings and our upbringings and our friends and our family and everything that we experience in life, it like you have to sometimes I'm like okay, like I'm not mad about some of these things, but I had to strip back. Well, maybe some of these New York things aren't actually okay. Like I'm not saying we're amazing people, but maybe we sometimes are a little aggressive or curse a lot or whatever. Maybe that isn't like always necessary, you know? So it is a humbling moment to be able to be exposed to actually like put a flashlight on yourself and be like, do you really like all of this about you? You know? So that was my takeaway from all of it.
Yeah.
Um there are some more comments, but I will leave it up to you if you want to pick a number or if you want to continue.
Let's go with 16.
Sheen.
Ay,
All right. So I some of it is also based off of your last two posts.
okay.
So I should have had this ready. I thought I had this ready, but I didn't. So bear with me because I want to make sure I don't butcher um any titles because I don't like messing up
Uh,
people's titles.
I have so much fun coming up with titles. I think it's really
You?
fun to, like, get creative and make these titles that sound ridiculous.
Well, okay, because that's an interesting takeaway because I was like, I feel like sometimes I am like, "Oh my god, when am I gonna title this piece?" Like, I just wrote all of it, I didn't have a title, and I was like, I have to, like, come up with it, and it stresses me out. So I love that you have, like, a better
Yeah, I, like, look back at my piece and I'm like, "What am I talking about here?" And I'm like, "How confused I am with duality, this cool Jedi thing I learned, and, like, how much our poor ego gets such a bad rap. Like, God is just trying to fucking protect you."
Right, but some of us don't understand that, apparently. Okay, so with that being said, duality, confusion, and Jedi mind tricks, appreciating the ego, and then it's not just sweat, it's shame, and we need to talk about it. So, there some of these questions are pulled from those as well. Um, both of your recent both of your recent pieces touch on transformation, physical, emotional, spiritual. Why did you feel it was important to write these right now?
I came on to this Substack to write about my life because I wrote a book. I published a book last February, my, like, memoir. Um, and so I came on to, like, share some of the stories because for years, everybody's like, "You need to write a book of your story. You need to write a book." And I was always like, "What? Nobody wants to hear this." And they're like, "Everybody wants to hear your story, Alicia. It's such a good story." So I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go on the Substack thing and write a few things about, like, my story and see if people respond." And they did. And I'm like, "Wow, that's really cool." And then I wrote the book and I'm like, "Well, now what do I share? I have so much fun interacting with these people and it's been such an outlet." And so I just literally share whatever I'm going through in a moment, like the sweat. Like I'm at the gym and I'm like, get up and I see my sweat marks. And in my head, I'm like, oh, wow, look, I have angel arms. And she sees me looking at it and she's like, oh, yeah, I leave sweat marks all the time in my ass and I get up and leave before anybody sees me. I'm so ashamed. And I'm like, I thought my sweat marks as angel marks and you see it as shame. Like, and you say that to me, like, before I can say something. So I just write about, like, I've had an experience and it feels like this is really common with the world. And so I'm just going to share and see if people think it's common in them too. And if they do, great. And if not, oh well, it's my outlet.
No, I love it. It sounds very similar to, my reflection diary entries. It's no different. I have
Yeah.
to go live life, and then, like, I reflect on it, and I'm like, "Ooh, there's a universal, like, arc or thread or commonality here that even though if they didn't experience the same thing that I experienced, they could still like, people could still
The
gain from."
underlying
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So I was just like so I yes, I appreciate your writing because it is in that similarity, and it is interesting how your response was, "Ooh, angels," and hers was like, "Oh my god, I'm ashamed," like, as if it's not natural to sweat.
Yeah. Like,
I
and
was like
like your sweat mark is obviously smaller than what your actual body is, but you're more embarrassed by the smaller sweat marks than what you know people are seeing.
oh, man, this is alright, so I'm gonna be laughing over somebody else's own trauma, so
I know.
that's my own thing, but it is very interesting how differently we all could see something, and
But
that
that's what I'm even curious about. Is it really even trauma? Does it really even bother her? Or do we just say that to, like, it's just so interesting.
well, I think you're gonna have to just ask her the next time you see her.
Yeah, I will. I am going to ask her.
"Hey, remember when we both were staring at our sweat?"
Yeah. Just a couple weeks ago, she totally remember.
I don't know, but I mean, either way, if you do or you don't, it's still interesting the perception of the situation and what
Yeah.
we're all as reading it is assuming this person feels shameful because she likes to hide the fact that she sweats. Um, I don't know. I feel like when I work out, I do prefer it in the privacy of my own space because I'm always red all the time, but I get like super red and then I sweat, but I don't think it's, like, shameful, like, 'cause I feel like I won't stop until I sweat, 'cause, like, sweat means is symbolic to me, like, "Oh, you're doing the thing, look at
Yeah.
you. You're not just red, like, you look at you." Like, you need to sweat, like, athletes put on, like, sweatsuits to sweat,
Yeah.
like, it's a natural thing to do, so, I feel like I would be more aligned with you. I've never heard of, like, angel wings, though. That was cute. That was cute. Um I always have to have my water. I talk too much. Chrissy said I'm at 30 with the right partner. I also think starting after 30 was key. So I'm 36, so, maybe one day that person will fall into my lap, but, and hopefully I will be like, "Yeah, you will be the one that will see me die, or I will be the one that sees you die," whatever the case may be, but we will be here for the whole rest of this shit, and that's
Yeah.
what I hope for, you know? The Diary of a Relationship Coach says fear is definitely a huge factor in relationships nowadays. I mean, I think I feel like fear is even a huge factor in our own relationship with ourselves. Like that's usually what keeps us from doing the things because we have fear of something, Oh, everybody that joined, hello, Brenda, Margaret. It's funny, Margaret. I was just thinking about you. I was like, I haven't seen Margaret on Substack in a while. Mez, thanks for joining. Last thing, the Diary of a Relationship Coach says, enjoyed this collab. Have to leave for a class on cultivating new stories for humanity. Later, Gators. Bye. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember all your numbers?
No. Do you know what I haven't? I know we haven't done 1, 2,
hmm
so let's do 2.
When life starts moving too fast, how do you slow it down enough to hear your own thoughts again?
So the first 40 so years of my life, that's how I live life. Like too fast, run from everything, don't be conscious, don't be aware of anything you're doing. And so the past 10 years of my life have been learning to live a whole different way. And this last year has really been an invitation for that. And so, and my boyfriend now like points it out all the time. Like, you say you want this slow, simple life, and yet you put things on your schedule. I'm like, I'm learning. Um, and so for me, when I feel like life is going too fast, is I like to me scheduling my time, scheduling blanks so I can't schedule something else. Like really just like taking back my time. I feel like when things go too fast, you're letting the world, the things consume you instead of you intentionally putting your place in the world.
Uh,
And so take back your time. That's what I do is I'm like, well, I need to stop or the body will get sick and be like, you're going to sit your ass down for a week.
well, when that happened to me, all I could think about was like, well, bitch, you have survived since January, so it's about time you haven't done anything. So sure, this sounds about right. Like, I definitely felt like my body was definitely like,
Yeah.
you can keep your mind can like my mind can go and go and go and
The
go.
mind. Yeah.
It's literally the Energizer Bunny up there. So,
Oh, yeah. That thing will never shut up. But this body is
yeah,
like, yo, bitch.
yeah. But I've been able to start learning like my own body cues that will tell me you're gonna have to start making better decisions for yourself. Otherwise, we're gonna make you,
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just like I've been able to at least appreciate learning the process of paying a little bit more attention intentionally on what my body said instead of ignoring it. Because even to this day, my dad is like 65 years old, and all last week he was like, "Come on, just like take that Dayquil and get out of bed." And I'm just like, I don't need Dayquil.
Yeah. No.
That's not what it is. And he's like, "You could do this. How are you feeling?" I'm like, "Why? See, you're part of the problem. You're part of
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah.
You're still in." And he lives in the Bronx still, has his whole life, and has worked in Manhattan his whole life. And so he's very used to this natural, like, go, go, go. You
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
stop, like, just keep going. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not that's not gonna be me.
Yeah.
At your age, I'm not doing I literally told me and my sister have told ourselves, like, we don't want to be doing anything that our parents are doing at the ages that we get to our parents' age.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't wanna have to work, like, by 60 something, like, "No, I'm not working. What are you talking about?" Like, "What? What?" If I'm working, it's because I'm doing something that's feeding my
Something I
fucking soul.
love. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's feeding my soul, it's not feeding my face. Like, that's what I wanna do, you know?
Yeah.
Um, oh, man. But, whew, I always get off on tangents. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Um, well, I know you haven't picked 20, so you wanna go for the last
Yeah.
one?
Go for
What
go
do you
for it.
hope What do you hope people carry with them after reading your words? What's the feeling or truth you most want to leave behind?
I hope to constantly open people's inner child to like get in that curious questioning place. So that's what I hope. That's with all the work I did. What really like, like I said, I everybody's like, write a book, write a story. I do have this really good story. I had this thing happened. It was basically a temple going Mormon, raising 4 children, had an affair, started using cocaine to numb out the affair one night without anybody in my world. So I'm volunteering at kids' schools. I'm a Weight Watcher coach in the community. I'm a wife. One night, all of a sudden, I'm getting arrested with my drug dealer. Nobody in my life knows, not even my husband. Hands like handcuffed, literally sitting in my own fecal matter, shit my pants when my when the things went on my wrist because I blew up my whole world. Nobody in my world knew this was happening. Um, and so, like, that's the big punchline of my story. And so, obviously, I had some shit to heal because you don't get yourself there unless you've got some things. So, in my healing, what I found, my ultimate, like, I went through yoga teacher training, I did all the things, Reiki, all the things. But I am a certified clarity coach with the work of Byron Katie, which is questioning our thoughts, because I never knew I could question everything I was believing. Like, I thought what we believed was real. What I
Mm.
believed my parents thought about me, what I believed all the kids on the playground thought about me, what I believed the world needed from me. I just thought all that was real. And I learned that you could question everything and that nothing is real. It is what you perceive it as. And so that everything I write and everything I do is about getting people to truly question, 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 never stop questioning and do it from a place of like, go down the rabbit holes and question, like, what the shit is this world? But also in like a child, like, if I were 3 years old and learning and seeing this, if a kid said something to me, like my friend's daughter, she was mad at school. They called her a they, them. And she's
Aw.
like, I am a she, her. And she blicked him on the forehead, was like, how dare you call me something I'm not? And she got sent, and she's 10. And I was like, way to go, Harmony. Like,
I mean, she just very much knows who she is, and I all you
yeah.
can hope is that that little girl stays that way.
Yeah. And instead of like punching, she just flipped him on the forehead, like, get your head right. I'm just like,
I
that
like
is
the flick.
such a cool response. I
Yeah.
just loved it.
No, it's
And so that like curious place of a child of like, what?
yeah.
Like, can we get to that place where everything we're just looking at it with this curiosity and yet knowing who I am, but still really open to being, is this right for me? Is this right for the world? Do I need to change what I'm believing and seeing?
I think it's harder than people, like, I guess, think, but I at least know that I struggle sometimes to remember what my 3 or 4-year-old self might have been thinking because I can't even remember her face most days. I and
Yeah.
what I love about my sister's annoying ways is that her son is never gonna not have enough fucking photos, right? Because nowadays, like, people have their phone right at so that they're always gonna be able to see their own evolution over the years, and it's
Yeah.
I don't even know that, so, sometimes it's hard for me to think about that, but that's why I think I enjoy being surrounded by kids more now. Like, I actually like, once upon a time, I was like, "Ew, no, no, children, children, what?" And now I'm like, "Oh, they're so innocent, they're so cool, I love the way that they think," and I'm like,
Yeah.
wanna be surrounded by them because it's like, yes, they have that, like, super innocent, just, like, I love the way that you think and see the world and how pure and honest it is, and I truly wish that to be the like, everybody gets to say that way, but we know the reality of it, right? No child or human is exposed to their own journey of own, like, hardships and stuff that they're gonna have to go through, but if you can remember to tap how to tap into that, I think that's probably the key to your own, so maybe I gotta figure out how to do that.
Yeah, and they like when they have fear, like walking across this tree trunk is going to be really scary. What if I fall? But it's exciting to them. Whereas an
Yeah.
adult, we would have it stop us. Like,
Mhm.
when did we not stay in that curious state of mind of like, this feels really scary, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be so fun. Like,
And even
need
if
a
that's
little more
what's the worst
adventure
that could
here.
happen? You get hurt? We all get hurt.
Yeah. Like, imagine how much tougher your skin is once it like repairs from that hurt.
Yo, that's amazing. Brittany, thanks for joining. I just noticed she said it's feeding my soul, not feeding my face. Yeah, that's gonna be a line of mine. Watch.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. That is
That
such a good line.
because I mean the reality of the situations of today. It's just I think most people much rather just I at least would much rather just work because I enjoy what I do instead of out of a necessity of something.
Yeah. It's
Um. All right. Well, we probably have like 15 more minutes.
okay.
Um, I wanted to take a minute because I know that you will be collabing with somebody later
Yeah.
this week, I believe. So I wanted you to take a minute to kind of let everybody know what else are you up to.
Okay. So I've been writing. I published my book. I've ran a couple book clubs with it, and then I'm just like, and now what? And like, once you publish a book, like, I'm like, now what? How does my book keep selling? I don't know. Doesn't need to. I don't know. What I do know is what it took for me to finally get to a place where like I love who I am. I can say I want a world that I want and I'm not here to please anybody else. Um it's taken many years and it's really taken truly understanding compassion, which my book is called Courageous Compassion. Um and to me compassion is about taking full responsibility of who you are and then you becoming the most loving, nurturing parent you probably never had, that you're going to become that for yourself. And the best friend that, like, is that best friend that would call you on your shit, but is like the person you can't wait to tell everything to. And they're going to love you no matter what you do. Like, can I be all those things to myself? But I have to first really step into my responsibility. That to me is what compassion is.
Uh,
And I want to share this kind of compassion with the world and what I've had to cultivate in myself to find it. And so I've changed my newsletter to Ripples of Compassion, and I'm creating like a membership group called Ripples of Compassion, where we will look at 6 key areas of our life. Well, first of all, I start off with a meditation every time, but I'm not like a sit up straight, meditate. I am like a lay down, sit how comfortably you can, and like be with yourself, touch your body. Let's be here. Let's be with ourselves. And so that's the kind of meditation I invite. And then we'll do like a somatic movement so that we're present in our body, and then we're going to look at these 6 key areas of our life and like, how am I compassionately showing up for myself? How am I stepping into my responsibility and being that compassionate being to myself in these 6 areas of my life? And then we'll look at all that. We'll discuss it as a group, talk about ways that we are finding it, not finding it, give some helpful tips, find a focus, and then we'll come back a month later and say, here's where I'm at with this again. And we'll just keep revisiting it. And what my goal is that we are coming together to truly embody compassion as who we are so that we then ripple it out in the world. And so it will probably be at the end of February that I actually like launch this. So I'm just offering like free little once a month. So when I do Highly Sensitive Woman, and I'm doing my first one through her monthly group this Sunday, right? This coming Sunday is when we're doing it. And I'll be sharing the link and anybody can come to it. And so it's just an offering to truly like check in with yourself of how am I showing up for myself compassionately.
mm, such a beautiful thing. And I love anything with ripples because I'm a big person of I may not be able to change the world, but I can definitely start a ripple
Yeah.
that could change the world.
Well, then I'm like, lately when I listen to some meditations, I have a favorite, David G, who I shared in my last post, is one of my favorites. And he always says, feel the universe blessing you or the universe coming through you. And I am like, if I believe I am a spark of the universe, that I am a part of this universe, like when those big stars you see at night, like we're literally that shining star. And if you could rip off the darkness of the night, you would see nothing but vast beauty, light, sparkling. And that's what we all are.
Mhm.
So if I am that and I want to feel that love from that, I have to recognize that every human, living person, being, bug, insect, plant on this earth is that
Yeah.
also. And so if I want to truly feel the love of the universe, I have to feel the love of this earth and every human on it right now.
Mhm.
And that's hard to find sometimes when we look at certain humans and go, I have to love you, but I can love somebody and have that love, and I can choose not to like somebody, and there is a difference.
Well, I mean, I don't wish nobody harm, but that doesn't mean that, you know, I
There's not people out there that you're like, "What are you doing? You're hurting people. You're intentionally hurting people." Like,
well, I mean, no, that's what I'm saying, like, I don't wish people harm because I
no.
wouldn't want that to be wished upon me.
Yeah.
So I do have my opinions, and I do understand that I can utilize my voice in a compassionate, respectful way to communicate how we should be handling things or my own opinion about certain things or whatever. But I don't have to like you said, I don't have to like anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People don't have to like me either, and like that's the cool thing. Like I
Yeah.
there like people will see that we've been live on this, and some people will enter and some people won't. And that either way, like I'm just super happy to fucking be here, right?
Yeah, me too.
uh Rena said, "Do no harm, but take no shit." Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty much it. Like I don't wish nothing bad on anybody, but I'm not gonna allow anybody or somebody specifically to disrespect me or anybody in front of
Yeah.
me. You know, like I'm not that quiet.
Yeah.
You know? So even recently with some of the posts that I put out there, I'm just like, I don't really talk about the politics of the country that I live in, and I don't feel like or I don't always feel like I'm allowed to because I'm not as educated as maybe I should be.
Mm.
But it just like at the end of the day, it just kind of seemed like this is very obvious that this is very wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, enough people are talking about it. People that are passionate about it are talking about it. I'm
Yeah.
passionate about compassion, so that's what I'm gonna talk about. But
Right, but
thank you for those that are compassionate about that and passionate about that and keep us
well, educating me
like,
because
thank you, yeah.
there are political platforms that I'm like, oh, like I can really appreciate these humans, and I can
Yeah.
appreciate the message that they're using, and maybe again, it's just helping educate other people like myself. I was like talking to my mom the other day. I was like, Mom, you remember back in the day, like the only way that you saw the news was you specifically deliberately put on one channel that played the news, and you could turn it off, and it would be gone. You
And
remember
you
this?
waited up till, like, 10 p.m. to do it.
Yeah, yeah, because you know, you had a life and you didn't want your kids to see. Like, do you remember that? Like, do you remember that being your life? Now, you can just be just sitting in your bed, and all of a sudden you're bombarded by everything that apparently is awful in this world.
It takes effort to not get the news. Like,
Right, and
it
it's like
takes
it's deliberately not liking anything political is always my way of doing things so that my social media spaces don't have politics on it.
mm,
So it can allow me to then, if I am interested, I will go do my own research about it, but I don't want it to be spamming my space because I come here specifically to Substack, for the community and for the connections and for the compassion and the support and the understanding. So I don't really want to be swayed either way about anything when I come to this space. I just want to connect with humans. And like I said, I think the recent events, the only reason I wrote about it was affected, but it also just like it just seemed wrong. Like it just seemed like what's happening, what continues to happen, it just seems wrong. Like as if you have like a humanity pulse, I feel like at this point of the situation, you're like, this I can't get behind this.
yeah.
Like I can't I ethically cannot get behind what's happening. So, you know, that's about that.
And maybe that's what needs to be happening.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it is, because it is. Here we are.
Yeah.
So,
But the bombardment is so hard. It is. I mean,
yeah.
but I don't use TikTok. My Facebook is literally only there so I can see my own memories. So it's like a time capsule. Like I can see pictures of myself. I can see the things that I wrote 12 years ago. Like like it allows me to and that's on when I want to do that, you know? But like my Instagram is probably the only thing and I specifically like follow calm, very spiritual type people so that my feed is just very calm and spiritual. And I don't even spend much time on my Instagram anymore. It's kind of crazy. Everything is here on Substack because I feel like I'm getting the opportunity to really connect with real humans.
Yeah, their messages I wanna hear and see.
Yeah.
Anytime I don't really go on Instagram anymore either, and anytime I do, I'm, like, 2 seconds in, and I'm like, okay, I'm done."
It's
I feel
overwhelming.
like Instagram is a lot of, like, look at me, look how shiny, look what I have, look what I'm using, follow this." I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. It's a lot of, human infomercials.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
feel like
just
Instagram's become, where I feel like Substack is like,
everybody's
"Hey,
selling
life
something.
sucks and life's hard, but I'm here. Thanks for being here.
And I'm
Thanks."
writing about it, and you're writing about it, so let's just write about it together, like, that's just life.
I like
Um,
it.
but in the spirit of things, it's 12:22, so I'm seeing 2:22 my time, and it's November 11th. So, for people that don't know, that's 11:11, and we have not answered 11 as a question. So I
Oh,
think
gotta do 11.
so I think we're gonna end 11:11 with 11. So,
Yes.
I hope that
So
today,
good. So
is
good you noticed that. I love that.
but I really hope today is cosmically everything, not cosmetically, but cosmically everything that, everybody on this earth needs, and we all continue to move forward in a very lovely light. With compassion, we're gonna ripple with compassion, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so, what's something you had to unlearn to become the person you are now?
Oof, so much shit. So much shit my whole life, but
Mhm,
ultimately what I had to learn was that I have value. I don't know if I ever believed I innately had value. I believed it was something that had to be earned,
mm,
is what I would say. Most of my life is what I believed about myself, is I have to get people to like me. I have to get people to accept me. I have to do so well. I have to do these achievements. Like, it, to get people's attention and love and support always felt like it was an effort. And I really had to unlearn, like, that if people don't love me, then if I love myself enough, if I appreciate who I am, I don't need others' love. And if I get it, wow, it's even more precious.
mm. That's beautiful message.
Yeah.
I'm letting that sit because I mean I'm thinking about it from like my own perspective of my own life, right? Like that's when I ask these questions, I also reflect on them myself, and I don't know. For me, it's just like reciprocity has become something that's really important for me. So I think what I've learned and what I think like ancestrally, what is supposed to be learned from my family timeline is that love isn't required all the time. It doesn't have to be loyal to everybody. And um starting to realize that I love the fact that of the way that I love, but understanding that not everybody deserves that and figuring out those boundaries that okay, well, you won't be upset about how somebody or disappointed about how somebody shows up knowing that their capacity is not able to. So then don't give them that. Like, you have to like, that was a me thing. I love the way that I love. I love how loyal I am. I love how, like, passionate I am. I'm a fire sign. Like, I love the way that I love, but what I had to learn and it's in everything. It's not just lovers or friendship or family, like, it's everything that I just not everybody deserves to have access to that level of my love, and that doesn't mean that I'm an asshole. It just means that I'm protective of my own peace and my own energy. And lately for me, it's just like if you get what you give at this point, I'm not feeling bad for choosing me and my own sanity over what you want. You know?
Yeah. And I love what Eric just said, they said, most people don't understand that the people who you love are not responsible for your feelings and responses. And absolutely. So
Mhm.
I remember I shared with somebody at work, like I said, we're taught, like, I am angry, I am sad. And yet, and so we think we become anger and sad, but we're not. I'm just experiencing a moment of anger. And that is entirely mine. And that is not someone else's response. I can't say you made me angry. I'm like, wow, I am experiencing anger from that thing you said, and let me explain why. Like, if we can learn to speak that way instead of going, I'm angry, F you, to be able to
Well,
go, wow, I'm experiencing anger off of what you said. Let me tell you why. Like, how different would our world be?
yeah,
Hugely.
instead of people, because I think for me, reactions was my downfall. Like, I would allow myself to have reactions without processing what I was feeling. So I feel like sometimes that just makes things more messier because I'm reacting off of something that I'm might be also just assuming, or I was triggered by something that was whatever the case might be, but it wasn't like the person. But that person is experiencing now my reaction to it, if that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
just felt like that was something that I could no longer continue to do. Like, I can't just react. Like, I have to be able to stop, process, and try to understand why this thing is making me feel this way. And I just think that that has become, you know, hard, but I definitely appreciate being able to do that more now than in the past, you know?
Okay. Alex, he really wants to know my favorite color.
Well, I was like, gonna say, I gotta get to like all of their comments. Obviously, they said, "Oh, hello." People are not raising attention for someone just like that. It's social sabotage of minute of silence or something. Are we still in camp thought that not dangerous or censored doesn't deserve to be called thought? I missed that. But believe they should be. They should ask for your favorite color. Everybody forgets that namaste or humanity asking for favorite color and prove a point. Yolanda, thanks for joining. Do the right thing. You're last on the photograph. Ask Alicia for her favorite color. So now that I've caught all up, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is green
Mm,
because what I've learned about the chakras, I am such a chakra girl in our energy. But to me, green is what nature provides the most for us. And to me, it just resembles love. Like,
mm,
you can't look out at nature and not see green, um, if you're truly looking at nature.
right.
And to me, the green is like, I just think of my heart, and I think of my heart growing and expanding like a plant in nature. And so green is my absolute favorite color. And then it floods into like blue. So using that heart centered green to speak in the world, and blue represents speaking, and doing it from a place that you're speaking truly from your heart and not your mind. So those are my favorite colors. And that's why. And they've always been my favorite colors, like before I knew all that.
I was saying, isn't it interesting how you just always knew that those colors spoke to you?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I always say black, but then people are like, that's not a color. And I'm like, okay, uh, if it must be a color. I'm a purple girl. I really
Love
enjoy
her.
purple, like any shades of purple, but
Yeah.
it's for me. Mine is very specific, the color of cobalt glass.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel like
So it's
that's probably
clear blue.
that's not like a clear blue.
Yeah,
That's a
I would see it as a very kind of
blue.
see-through, kind of very blue, very pretty color.
Now I feel like I need to look up cobalt glass. Cobalt
Yeah.
cobalt glass.
I love
Oh,
when
thank
people know, like, these fun names of colors, like
yeah, I mean, I just know the
I
basics.
don't, yeah, I
Oh,
don't, but when people do, like, my boyfriend always, like, colors of pants, like, "These are da da da," and I'm like, how do you know?"
cool.
Like, they're not just pants, they're a I don't even know, I can't even think
That's
because I don't think like
that's
that.
that's super sophisticated. Yeah, I think it's also that's been something fun for me to understand about me is that there are so many different ways to view the same thing. so many different ways. So, oh man. Well,
There.
I have enjoyed all of this conversation.
Me
Uh,
too. It was so fun.
I feel like I don't understand how time goes by so fast. I don't didn't we just start this?
I know, 1 hour later. That
Oh,
was
because I respect your time and I know that you're intentional with it. I do very much appreciate you being here. I say to all of my co-hosts, you were always welcome back to the inner room anytime.
good.
So I at least like to do a follow-up one because it's just like let
Yeah.
some months go by. Let's see what happened, and then let's check in and talk more about what are the things that we're continuing to grow and build here. Um,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of your community and the work that you do, and I definitely appreciate you being here. So
Thank you. I really appreciate you, and I'm excited to dig in more to this inner world.
yeah, I mean,
Inner room world.
well, I mean, it could be a room that opens up to the whole world. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
totally okay with that. But
I love it.
uh, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm closing out November with two lovely ladies, each one of them mothers. So I think that
Mhm.
I have like young
Yeah.
young new moms, and I just feel like I've been called to speak with all of my mommies apparently,
Mhm.
and really continue to learn more about that bond too. So best of luck with your daughter and your grandson, and
Thank
continuing to navigate those waters because it was very hard when I had to relive with my mom again when I was later in life and not having to live with her. And now all of a sudden she's like, it was a lot. So I can understand how that dynamic could be a lot. So again, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Um,
thank you.
all right, guys, you've been in the inner room where the conversations go deep, the connections surprise, and the truths linger long after the world quiets down. Until next time, keep listening inward because that's where the stories that shape us really live. Appreciate you and thank you again, Alicia. We will be in touch, my friend.
Thank you. Yes, we will. Thank
Have
you
a
so
great day,
much, and
everybody.
thank
Have
you for everybody watching. Bye.
a great day. Bye.